So super simple. I'm having the bucciata. You can use any shape you want. Bucciata is great for this. Extra virgin olive oil. Little Parmigiano Reggiano is vacca bruna. There's a little piece of guanciale that already cut. Remove the upper part. And the bottom is just nice and clean. I'm gonna cube it. And then here I have some spinach. With all your like leafy greens, it's always better to clean them in ice water. So just let them soak in ice water, you know, they'll come back to life, and then you can remove every piece of sand. I bought this at the farmer's market, so it was just like full of like dirt. So it's always better to like soak them for a couple of minutes. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is like cut little sliver of the guanciale. You can go as thin or as thick as you want. And the guanciale is gonna function as the base. That's why I'm not using any like garlic or any like a lot of seasoning. It's a very simple pasta because the guanciale itself is already so complex that it's gonna give you so much flavor. So simply do that. Just cut up your guanciale. And also the prep for the spinach. Once you have like washed them, just cut up the bottoms. The bottoms you can use for like stock, anything you want, and then the tops we're gonna saute. Now in a pot, I'm gonna go ahead and put my guanciale. You know, because this is not like a classic Roman recipe that, you know, it's not carbonara, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil just to help melting the fat and getting a different texture and profile. Yeah, and now just let the guanciale fry with the olive oil at like medium heat until it gets almost crispy. At this point the water is boiling. Just go ahead, we season it with a little bit of sea salt. And just dump our bucciata in and cook it to al dente. Same time, you can see our guanciale is crispy over here. Just turn it up to a high heat. You don't want to go at a high heat when you're like cooking the guanciale because its smoking point is very low, so you're gonna have a lot of smoke. But now we put it back up on high heat. Here I have my vegetables that have been cleaned and just like drying off, and we're gonna put them with this guanciale fat. As you can see, the pan is starting to smoke. That's when we go ahead and put our spinach, simply like that. Don't move them, don't do anything with it. Just keep it the way they are. Season it with a little bit of sea salt. And just, you know, leave it like that. Right now the spinach is going to lose a little water. You can start moving it around and you will see the spinach. You know, it's going to continue losing its water. Everything, the temperature is going to get down, but you're not overcooking the spinach. Part of it we're going to puree it, and part of it we're going to keep it all. Okay, we're still at high heat. Just take some of the pasta water, just a little bit, and splash it in. Cook the spinach just a little longer, and then we're going to blend just the spinach, most of them, and not the guanciale. Okay, some of the spinach we have right over here. We're gonna go ahead and blend it with a little bit of olive oil. Okay. Go ahead with a little bit of olive oil and then blend. Spinach puree. And I've also added some pasta water. You want this to be more liquid than you think. This is gonna help us with the mantecatura of the pasta. And look how beautiful in color it is. And delicious too. I mean, you could actually eat this just on its own, use it as a side, use it to garnish a plate. But it's like beautiful color. Are very, very al dente, and we're gonna finish cooking it in the pan with the sauce and like risotto style. Okay. Go ahead, you put it back on the stove. You go ahead with a good amount of the pasta water and finish it cooking like a risotto in this water. We're gonna go ahead and add almost all of our spinach cream. So it's gonna dilute in the water, and essentially the bucciata is gonna absorb this spinach water. And you wanna make sure that you do this when the pasta is very al dente, otherwise it's gonna overcook. At this point, all the pasta water has been absorbed. You can shut it off and go in mantecatura mode. We shut it off. We go ahead with our last bit of the spinach puree. We can always put a little bit of the pasta water. And don't be scared, it's still hot, like all the starches. You know, this is high quality pasta. It will emulsify all very well. So we start mixing it around and doing our mantecatura. Right now we're doing the mantecatura with the spoon and cooling it off a bit. Okay, at this point we go ahead with our Parmigiano Reggiano. Put a good amount of Parmigiano Reggiano. And then some extra virgin olive oil. Good amount of that. And then we start our mantecatura. Just move it around. You know, and you saute and you do the mantecatura, 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 mantecatura. You can always do it with the spoon again. You know, essentially you're just trying to incorporate air and emulsifying everything that's there. So you do mantecatura, mantecatura, and our pasta is perfect. I mean, look how beautiful this is. Like the color of this is kind of nuts. And then again, we go ahead with the plating. We just have our buschiata ready. Just put it in the plate. Very simple and very, very homey. And super healthy. I'm like, this is like, have your kids eat the greens. These are the greens that your kids should eat. And then we just go ahead with a slight dust of Parmigiano Reggiano, because Parmigiano Reggiano has never hurted anyone. Super simple. And of course, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to be even more healthier. And here you have it, the buschiata, gli spinaci con a little guanciale.